What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Yo Hookers podcast, episode 165. And we are here.
Classic.
Oh, yeah. We are here with a good old review to UFC 313, Poatan versus Ankalaev. So much stuff went down this Saturday in Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's go. Before we get into all that, don't forget, like and subscribe. It helps out. Let's go. Maybe drop a comment and let us know how upset you were or not with the decisions. You know what I mean? There was a lot of decisions on this card that people felt just very strong opinions about.
Yes.
Leave your strong opinions in the comments below.
Feel free to talk the shit. It's always funny. It's always very nice. And Ginger's just like, yo, look at this comment that got dropped off. This guy said you're a fucking idiot.
I know, Ginger cares.
What cares is a bit far, but...
You know what I mean. Ginger looks is what I should say.
I was about to say, I look.
Ginger cares. You can get under his skin and leave comments.
That is kind of a problem that I do have with this. Is like, I am such a numbers person, like, higher number, higher dopamine. Like, you know what I mean?
I get it. But let's go. UFC 313 is in the books. Main event, the reason why we were all here, Poatan looking to just make history, looking for his fourth title defense in less than a calendar year. Absolutely crazy. So just so much heading into it. Obviously, just Poatan, everything that he's done in such a short period of time, just easily the biggest star in the UFC right now that they have as like a current active fighter.
Yes.
And Magomed coming in, it's so hard with him because it's like he has amassed such an amazing win streak coming in and just an undefeated streak overall. Definitely something that does not get talked about enough with Magomed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Less was it 14 fights, 12 wins, 1 draw, 1 no contest. Up there with Usman, or not Usman, John Jones and Islam for like active unbeaten streaks right now.
Yeah.
It just crazy coming in, and after 5 rounds, goes every single one of them. Judges reading 4 rounds to 1 for Magomed Ankalaev, 3 rounds to 2 on 2 of the judges' scorecard for Ankalaev. Gets the unanimous decision win.
The correct scorecards.
Yep.
Or more correct scorecards.
The thing is that while I think 4-1 Magomed is incorrect,
yes,
it's just not the hill to die on.
Yes.
People really need to pick and choose their battles and what they're mad at, because that 1 round did not change the fight outcome.
No.
All 3 judges across the boards gave him rounds 2, 3, and 4.
Yep.
So even if that judge gave that round to Poatan, he still would have won the unanimous decision.
No, yeah, 100%.
That's just that. Like, it's just not the thing to be mad about at all.
I'm still mad about it.
It definitely isn't the hill to die on, because it's like it wouldn't have swung the fight, but it is just one of those things where it is just does show that sometimes it's just like judges are just not good.
Yeah, they had two of their 3 judges were what? Derek Clearly and Sal D'Amato?
Yeah. Sal D'Amato being the one who I think, if I remember correctly, is the one who went for 4-1.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things where it's like, if you know the judge's name, it's probably because they make stupid fucking decisions like that. But at least it didn't actually affect the outcome.
Yes,
this time.
it was
Sal
D'Amato.
Which is why I'm just saying it's just not the hill to die on and be mad about. Like,
right. No, yeah, exactly. Because at the end of the day, you always, just no matter what the scorecards are or whatever, as long as the rightful person won the fight, then that's really all that matters. It's like, it just bullshit decisions happen all the time. And, just my first thought with it was going back to the second fight between Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso, where 5th round, getting that round scored at 10-8 against Valentina. That
changed it to a draw.
Yes.
Exactly.
Instead of giving Valentina the win, which she should have. Yes. That's where it's like, you can be mad about the 1 scorecard.
Exactly.
No,
yeah.
And then still going into like the scorecards, because like I see like a pretty main consensus that like a lot of people think that Poatan won rounds 1, 3, and 5, which I felt the same way going into round 5, that it was 2-2. But I do understand how round 3 across the board got judged for Ankalaev. Because while he was outstruck in significant strikes by 4 strikes and total strikes by 3.
Yeah.
Poatan landed a total of 21 strikes that round, and 15 of them were calf kicks.
Yep.
when the majority of your strikes are calf kicks and the person is still moving forward, not showing any crazy noticeable signs of injury, like he was in the Yan fight, for instance, where like you could tell it was bothering him, and he's throwing more strikes up to the top, up to the body, and just, you know, looking like he's doing more, because he technically, didn't land as much, and like to the head, he only landed one more, but he threw more and was just moving forward the whole time. That I think body language and activity won it. It was a close round, but again, it's like when it's close, it's not a robbery. Like,
no, 100%. The thing is, like, when it comes to those calf kicks and all that, like when it comes to damage, it is always judged. The immediate damage is always judged more favorably than the accumulative. And Ankalaev had like 2 strikes in that round that were much more damaging than those calf kicks. So that's why it probably should go to Ankalaev. I can understand, though, either way, why it would get judged. Why someone would go either way with. The one thing I won't understand is when I went to go look at MMA decisions to make sure it was Derek clearly is, you know, it's about half and half, you know, Ankalaev Pereira for, you know, the media picks, except for the New York Post, who had it 47-47 a draw.
It's a 10-8.
Number 2 for Ankalaev.
2 for Ankalaev.
Like, that's the only possible one, because I guess technically he could have finished him.
It's just
the bell rang. It was at the very end of it. It wasn't.
It's just that was just funny. Like, I just saw that. I'm just like, the fuck are you talking about?
That's
but
crazy.
yeah, no, I definitely am like, it could have gone either way. Like, it really was like very close in that round. Like, if you went for, I'm not mad. If you went Ankalaev, I am not mad.
Yeah, because it's just one of those things. Because for me, I definitely think that Poatan should have gotten the decision. I thought it was 2-2 going into the 5th. I thought he clearly won the 5th round. You know, so like I thought that should have been a 3-2 decision for Poatan, the champ, or former champ at this point. But it's one of those things, and I have to like it, because watching the fight immediately after, like, just upset, whatever. But then it, like, you always just have to like just look at things, take your bias away, and whatever. And it's like I say it all the time, where if you don't go for it and, you know, like really do something in order to take that round from the judges, and you're being hesitant, you're pulling back, you're not doing enough, and you like are allowing it to be a close round, you can't get mad that if the judges score it the other way. Because that is one thing that it was so persistent throughout this fight. It seemed like Poatan was uncomfortable, like standing in front of, pushing into Ankalaev, and especially trying to counter him. There were plenty of times where Ankalaev is coming in, throwing punches to the body, punches up top. He is so open to so many left hooks, uppercuts, whatever, that Poatan has landed previously on so many of his opponents. But he was just hesitant. He didn't want to throw him, and he was just too content to back up throughout the fight. So it's just like, like, you know, with you saying of just like the 3rd round, like Magomed's going forward, he's throwing more, even though he's not landing. It's like him pushing forward into Poatan and like just being the aggressor. That still is the 3rd out of 4, you know, like in the scoring criteria. That really doesn't mean shit, because it was one of those things where like they had to change that up, because back in the day, so many guys like Wonder Boy or something, you know, where it's like, I'm just moving backwards to like counter, and that's my style. Like they always got like decision scored against them because like of just that, the look to it, you know? So it's like that shouldn't be a factor, but it's just one of those things, like you
the
said,
body language. You know?
And just Magomed throwing way more than what Poatan did attempt, even if Poatan did land more. It's hard for judges to see what's actually landing and what's not. So it's like Magomed going 10 more strikes overall to the head attempting, even though he only landed 1 more. It seems like he's doing much more, being more impactful. And so it's like, I think that Poatan won, but it's like you said, a close fight isn't a robbery. You can't fucking be kicking and yelling and screaming about this. Like, this is not the motherfucking fight to be like, oh, it's a fucking robbery.
Yeah.
Like, 100%.
Like Rocky and Juliana happened.
Exactly. and it's just like, I don't know, it's always one of those things too, where it's like, you know, like obviously so many people have their opinions about like the Dagestani fighters and stuff like that, and how like they think the UFC is like they want to rig things for like the Dagestani fighters to like be champions and stuff, which it's like they want stars to be fighters, or to be the champions. That's what the fuck they care about. Obviously with Khabib and Islam, they have grown such a support from their team and their skill set and everything, that globally they are big stars. So there is a push and like a want to have them there.
like there really wasn't even a push with him or with fucking
no.
Magomed. Islam went on what, a
Exactly.
12-fight win streak before he got the title shot? Magomed over here on a 14-fight.
Not a 12. I think it was
11,
10, or
a 10.
9 or 10, but yeah.
Either way, my bad. But you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was up there. It's not like he was on this 4-fight win streak. I know people want to be like, oh, but he fought Bobby Green. I'm pretty sure it's because who pulled out and he stepped in. Like
his last two like opponents that he was supposed to fight were RDA and Benny Dariush, and he instead both of them pulled out, and he got Dan Hooker and Bobby Green, which he finished them both in the first round. And so it's like, it's one of those things where it's okay, not the greatest opponent, but a short notice guy who your level's above. You went out there and did what you were supposed to do.
Exactly. And you're on this crazy win streak. It's like, it's not your fault that the opponent's pulled out. You still fought, get the fucking title shot, and he's proving why he's there. And now it's like with Magomed leading into this, he has the most wins over ranked guys in the entire division. In Nikita, Volkan, Thiago Santos when he was around, Anthony Smith, Johnny Walker, Rakic, and now Pereira. It's like
every single one of them still ranked other than Thiago Santos.
Right. It's not like he just was pushed into this position. Motherfucker worked for it.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like, and like that's kind of the thing, is it's funny, like with the whole like they're pushing the Dagestani fighter. It's like, one, no, they're not, but two, like why are we always creating conspiracy theories for all these things that happen in the UFC? Like sometimes shit just happens. Sometimes judges are just dumb.
And I mean that's just people in life in general, and and honestly the real thing that is, and it's like, and honestly with just you saying that, it just made me think of where it's like it comes down to where like just fucking hundreds, thousands, or like thousands of years ago or whatever, when it's like people are like just not knowing anything of why, and so it's like they're creating like these religions, and like gods are like are causing all of these like natural things or whatever, it's like they create things to make explanations for what they don't understand.
What an analogy.
And but that's what people do with conspiracy. You know what
I
I
know.
mean?
Yeah, exactly.
They just don't understand things, or they don't like it in the combination of it. So there's like, it has to be this, like, and so and so it's just
it has to be the devil.
Like,
now we're really gonna get some comments.
But it's like onto the actual fight.
For real.
To the actual fight itself, it was extremely close. It fucking really for Poatan, it was mainly just the leg kicks that were kind of shining through all of it, and then just the takedown defense. It has to, bruh. Because I know we've talked about it so much, like in the lead up and everything, and on the preview, where it's like Magomed isn't a wrestler, but he still have but he still does have that skill set more than the other people at 205.
I know. It's like, I really feel like I was the one who kind of like gave Poatan the credit to have good enough defense against Magomed, because I didn't give him the overestimation on his wrestling. Like I was just like, no, Poatan's been working on it and Magomed's not that good. So
it's like 0 for 12 on takedowns for Magomed. It just
like, that was the thing. It was the thing that we were talking about beforehand, because it's like, before this he was averaging 0.98 takedowns per 15 minutes. It's like, guys, he is not a wrestler like that. Like he shoots a little bit, but like he's not like overall like shooting in like Khabib, getting them down, and then just stay there, ground and pound, whatever it may be. No, he's just like, for the most part, striking and then throwing in a takedown.
And half the time, it's not even like he really commits to them. It's more so just to throw the person off, and then he's back to striking anyway. Like, and then with this fight, people really mad about the fourth round specifically. I feel like the fourth round happened, and I've seen so many people talking about he just hugged him the whole fight. It was 5 minutes and 42 seconds of control time between the fourth and fifth round, because he shot a takedown in the first round in the last 20 seconds, a takedown in the third round probably in like the last 20 seconds, and then the rest of them were rounds 4 and 5. Like he was standing and swinging with Pereira and ended up rocking him in round 2. Like had the biggest moment of the fight easily. And because it like you were saying earlier with the third round of just the like the damage from the calf kicks not really like showing, and it's like obviously he didn't have any reactions like in the Jan Blachowicz fight, but it was clearly affecting him, because as the fight started to go on, he easily started to switch up going to orthodox way more often, and there was just like a few times where like that's where he started to get some really good shots off of just switching to orthodox, landing straight shots with the right hand through the guard of Poatan, just having that fucking that just like classic Muay Thai style, and just obviously keeps his hands lower, but doesn't have much like footwork overall, doesn't have a lot of head movement, you know what I mean? But that's why I said like the obvious damage, because like I do know that he was switching back and forth, but just like that limping and whatever,
Yeah.
you know, and then landing the good shots off of it. I'm sure they noticed the shots more than the switch of stance.
For sure. But yeah,
and even then, like there are times where Magomed, even when his legs haven't been hurt, he will switch stances occasionally because he'll do like a shift step into a switch stance, coming off like a straight, go into it, and then have a hook right there, and then shift again, and you know.
But it's like, yeah, because times where it's just like, you know, he's standing there going up, and then it's like, okay, switch to orthodox, and then it's like you see he wants to throw, but then he goes back to southpaw to start. You know what I mean? Just one of those things. But it's like, wasn't the most impactful damage. But yeah, it just was a lot of really good boxing work from Magomed on the feet that really just got it done over Poatan. He did have some really good kicks throughout the fight too. Like the front kicks to the body were working real good. I think it was the second round where he just pushed Poatan back real far with it. But yeah, landing leg kicks of his own. Like just the overall skill set, game plan, and everything from Magomed was good enough to get the job done on the night, and that's just something that you can't take away from him.
No, 100%.
And it's like, as much as I was sad for Poatan, I was honestly very happy for Magomed. Like, I know you were more upset in the moment, but it's like Poatan has done his damn thing and has had crazy moments throughout his like just short MMA career. And not that he's done, like it's still fucking Poatan. He's still gonna get big fights. He's gonna get the rematch right away. So who even knows how that goes? But like in this moment, I just love the underdog story and people that are hated on for no reason. It's like we keep saying it, but it's like, yeah, his name with being Ankalaev from Dagestan, the way people just call him like a boring nut hugger is crazy. Because that's really just not what he does. He deserves more respect. He is the first Muslim fighter to fight during Ramadan in a championship fight. He won the fight. It's just like, it's awesome for him. I'm happy.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things too, where it's like, Poatan, like you know how he's been able to do everything in such a short period of time. It's because the UFC gave him the opportunities to do that. He came into the UFC fighting Andreas Michailidis, Bruno Silva, Sean Strickland. You know what I mean? Like all fighters that are just favorable matchups for him to be able to go out there, get the knockout. 3 fights in the UFC, he goes and fights for the championship. With obviously, that's a hard thing to do. But you're fighting someone that you've had 2 fights in kickboxing with, and you're going to go out there and basically kickbox each other. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's one of those things. Moves up a weight class, fights Jan Blachowicz, who, a tough, like, could be a tough stylistic matchup, but it's like not primarily a grappler, more of a striker in his own. On the older side, had experience fighting Glover, so like Glover and his camp being able to give him that knowledge and everything like that. And then his entire title run was just all strikers that just basically went out there to strike with him, other than Yuri attempting some takedowns here and there, barely, you know?
Right, and with Jamal and Yuri too being on short notice, and then Khalil coming off of an Anthony Smith win, where it's like, I love the fight, it was a great fight, and Khalil gave him a good fight.
Yes.
But it should have been Magomed at that point, and it's just,
and then
I will say this. Last 2 opponents for her have been southpaws, and those kind of gave him trouble. That is kind of something to notice.
Yeah, that definitely is fair. Because, and then for Magomed, it's just like, you know, saying of like, oh yeah, people are just like, oh, he's a boring nut hugger, whatever. Comes in UFC debut, takes down Paul Craig, loses because of it. That you know, that's just
at the end of the fight too, though.
Yeah, but then since then, first round head kick knockout over Marcin Prachnio, gets the decision. Front kick knockout over Dalcha, has the fucking wacky shit with Iwan where he's throwing all the head kicks. The ref calls it when he's fine. Go back in the rematch, finish him first round punches. Gets the UD over Nikita Krylov, UD over Uzdemir, over Thiago Santos. Finishes Anthony Smith in the second round. Has to do all of that to finally get an opportunity at the undisputed title. Goes to a draw with Jan Blachowicz. So then after that, it's like, well, you're actually just going to sit out for a year, and now you get to fight fucking Johnny Walker on your return.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't think that after like fighting Jan, he would want to fight like a Rakic or something like that or whatever right back? You know what I mean? So like, give him Johnny Walker, goes to the no contest, has to fight him again, has to fight Rakic after that, then to finally get a shot at the undisputed title. It's like, they put Magomed through everything possible, every opportunity for someone to get a win over him, so they didn't have to give him a title opportunity. To your point earlier of having him fight this title fight at like during Ramadan, so it's like, okay, it's only the last week that, you know what I mean, he has to like go through Ramadan for his like training camp and all that. Oh yeah, just the last week when you're cutting weight and like nutrition, water intake, all of that is very crucial and key of specific timings and everything of how you have to do that.
And still only breaking fast with some water so he doesn't fucking die.
Yeah, like make that as hard as possible, and to still go out there and get it done over just the UFC's biggest star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it is just so awesome for Ankalaev being able to do it. And like you said, just the underdog story, just everything. It's like, yeah, he got the respect from the odds makers, but ain't nobody of the fan base wanted to see him in there or even win this. So
then it just sucks that because of the fourth round, like I said, people just still talking shit about him being boring. And it's like, he spent the first 3 rounds striking with him. He still struck with him for a good amount in the 5th round. There was literally only 1 minute and 22 seconds of like exchanging in there. You know what I mean? It's like
he rocked Poatan. Like he had the biggest moment on the feet in the fight. It's it's because he said it afterwards of like tweeting where he goes in there and the guys he fight boring when they're in front of him. And it's just one of those things where like people said it with Izzy for the longest time, like especially as he got into his title reign, where it's like, oh, he's having all of these boring fights, and it's like, no, like whatever. It's because motherfuckers get in there and they're just like, how the fuck do I attack this person?
Yes.
I don't know what to do. They're giving me too many looks. I don't know where to go. I'm getting caught with everything that I want to do. And like, I don't want to get knocked out because I know they're dangerous.
And then it's like Poatan for the first time just on the back foot for damn near the whole 5 rounds. He obviously had a few moments of pushing forward, but it's not like he really capitalized in those moments anyway. He just ended up backing up again.
Exactly.
Like he got walked down that whole time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also,
because it's like, go.
No, go ahead. I'm going on.
I was just gonna say, like, because I know, like, the broadcast was talking about where it's like, oh, Poatan's like, you know, he's like not as good at fighting off the back foot, and like he clearly isn't. But it's like, it's not like he can't fight off the back foot. Like he has good counters moving backwards still, and none of it was working for him.
No,
until the 5th round where fucking Magomed was pushing in hard and he landed that stiff jab that kind of, you know, like wobbled him a little bit, but like nothing even as nearly as damaging as what Magomed did to him.
Yeah.
No, yeah, 100%. There was nothing that Pereira was landing that was as damaging. Like he did not have a lot of like very hard, damaging shots to the body, to the head of Ankalaev. He had a couple of leg kicks that were pretty damaging, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But just to quickly go back to that whole, you know, they're trying to push Dagestani fighters. One, the whole, you know, lead up of what we just said with Ankalaev. Tell that to Movsar that they're trying to push Dagestani fighters into title shots. Please.
Yep. Yeah. It, like, you know, because we were talking about it before. It's like the only Dagestani fighter that got like a title shot when they didn't have to go above and beyond to deserve it was Umar.
Yeah.
He was literally the only one that got pushed forward. And then even still with that, they gave him Corey in a top fucking 3 guy and he beat him. Like it, so it's like he still got that top 5 win to be deserving of that. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah.
If you want to argue that he didn't deserve to fight someone like Corey Sandhagen because he wasn't winning, he didn't really have any real top 15 wins, fine, whatever. But like, again, he still had to go out and beat Corey.
And that's where it's like, because I can definitely get like in the lead up to be like, oh, does someone deserve this opportunity? If they beat them,
they obviously deserve it.
Yeah, then
then it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. So the fucking Magomed Ankalaev just on a great roll right now. Like you said, they're definitely going to go to the instant rematch. Both of them won it. Dana White won it. So hopefully it doesn't take too long to get there. But definitely interested to see how. It just one of those things where it's like, you know, whatever Poatan was feeling in there, can he go back into the camp and make the right adjustments, you know, to be able to make, to just work around it or just know that he has more confidence in certain spots, whatever. Or is it going to also just be like Ankalaev went in there, basically stood with him for 20 minutes of the fight, came out on top, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go out there and knock him out this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, very interesting.
We shall
see. Well, let's go. Very solid fight in the main event. And going on down to a great fight in the co-main event. Fight of the night. Justin Gaethje taking on Rafael Fiziev. 12 days notice Fiziev steps in for Dan Hooker after he broke his hand. I also thought it was real funny that like I listened to an interview with Dan Hooker and he was talking about how like him and his team, like they train real smart, and so like you don't really see them like getting injured and pulling out a whole like a lot or whatever, and then just right after Dan Hooker, broken hand, pulls out of his fight.
So, I feel like Dan Hooker has been the one to pull out the most out of that camp, if I'm recalling.
Probably this dude just goes to war with Izzy.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, to be fair, it's only been 3 times.
yeah. But either way, Fiziev steps in on short notice for just a wild opportunity, taking on the Justin Gaethje in the rematch. Gaethje got the majority decision in the first one, and he comes out on top once again with the unanimous decision win.
Mm-hmm.
How you guys feel about the fight, decision, everything?
It was a great fight.
Oh, yeah.
It was exactly what you would expect from a Gaethje Fiziev #2 fight. Like, it's just
The only unexpected part were the takedowns in the first round that Fiziev got.
Yeah.
Those were kind of like completely unexpected. And then also just like, yeah, basically kind of what I would expect out of a second fight, especially like on short notice. Like Fiziev not fighting as ferociously, like in terms of like the pace as he normally does. Because he's like, I know Gaethje isn't going to go out in the first round. I have to be able to at least go 15. Maybe somewhat less, but at least into round more likely 3.
Yeah.
And it's like Fiziev won round 1.
Yeah.
Gaethje, especially with like specifically the knockdown and just, getting that sequence, he won round 2. But it's like round 3 was close. Fiziev probably had the first half of that. But it was close up, like the first half of it, like Fiziev edging it.
Yeah.
But Gaethje definitely just picked up the pace and took over at the end and just got that. It was. I really did have a Gaethje going out, so like I'm not mad or anything, but it was definitely close. It was a great fight. I just hate that Fiziev is on a 3-fight losing streak now.
Yeah.
That's the part that sucks the most because he's such a good fighter. The body work that he was doing in there against Gaethje,
so good.
What was
there was just a lot of good body work on this card, honestly.
There
was.
43 of 52 of his strikes landed to the body, or not 43 of 52, but like that was all to the body.
63% of his
68 significant strikes, 43 were to the body, so that is pretty crazy.
Yeah, 63% of his landed by target was to the body, 29 to the head, 7 to the leg. Most of it obviously at distance, 20 in the clinch, 7 on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, with the clinch work, because bringing up of just how the wrestling was unexpected in the first round.
Yes.
Definitely did not expect Fiziev go out there, get 2 takedowns on Justin Gaethje, and then I forget like if it was the first or second, but like Gaethje trying to like reinitiate like the grappling sequence and just getting shut down from Fiziev. The fucking strength round of Fiziev,
It was the same round. Okay, after he had gotten taken down, he tried to do that, and
but just so crazy, and like the strength of Fiziev in the clinch, man, like he. Like is a very strong guy in there at 155 pounds. Not like the tallest, biggest guy, you know what I mean? But clearly very powerful.
Very strong.
Yeah.
So after this, they really need to give Fiziev a good, easy, winnable fight because losing to Gaethje in a majority decision, getting injured by Gamrot, which bullshit, because he definitely would have beat him, and then taking short notice Gaethje fight again.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, he's a great fighter. He can do great things. Like, this is just...
You know what?
It sucks.
Since it was an injury... I was about to say that, I realized. Do we really give him another rematch? Fuck it, why not? Give him Gamrot again. Because he was winning that fight.
Yeah, but bro, imagine just ending up on a 4-fight losing streak, and it's literally Justin Gaethje, Gamrot, Justin Gaethje, Gamrot. Come on, we're not doing this. You know what I mean? I feel like that's just bad for him. Like you just don't want to go in. If like you want to give him a stylistically favorable fight where it's obviously 155, where it's just going to be hard no matter what. But it's like against someone like Gamrot, you don't want to have him just wrestling and like defending takedowns the entire time and just hoping to like land more damage on the feet and not get out grappled,
Yeah.
All right, fine. Loser Chandler Pimblett.
I mean, it definitely would end up being fun for sure.
So basically, I'm saying Fiziev Chandler right now.
Bro, I don't fucking know how that fight's gonna play. I'm not saying Patty's winning that one.
The only reason, like, I would even like be somewhat comfortable. I'm somewhat comfortable saying that is Patty does have good jiu-jitsu. It goes down to the ground. Like Chandler has been sub before. But moving on.
Was it Moicano that had the great breakdown of it? Moicano or Gilbert? I forget which one. I'm pretty sure it was one of them. But it was just like you got a guy in Patty who fights like this.
Yeah.
And then you got a guy in Chandler
who fights like this.
It was Gilbert.
Yeah. is clear was gonna happen. But yeah, it definitely is hard for Fiziev and just where you want to end up going booking with it. Talking about it before, such a fun fight that I would love to see. Someone that deserves an opportunity to fight inside of the top 15, but I feel like is just a stylistically favorable fight for Fiziev and something that I can win. Give him Ludwig Klein. That would be such a great fight on the feet. Ludwig's probably going to try and mix it up with some of the grappling, but he's not the greatest wrestler or anything. No. So I feel like Fiziev should be able to like muscle him around in the clinch if he had to and like just get the better of that. But it would be a whole lot of fun until it's got to finish or just all 3 rounds.
Yeah, it goes all 3 rounds. It was good. And it's at that point, it's just a war.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that'd be fun.
Definitely got to see. But there are definitely a lot of different options that you could go with Fiziev at 155 because it's not like he's fought a whole lot of people there. So definitely.
That is the fun part about it is like there's a lot of options for Fiziev because he hasn't been like fighting everyone in the top 5, 10 this whole time like a Gaethje has, where it's like, what do we do with Gaethje? Do we give him a title shot? Do we have him fight Arman? Does he rematch someone? Do we go back to Hooker? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different, like, there's, like, only, like, 3 new opponents, really, at the moment for him.
No, yeah. And because that's where I was going to go to next of, like, with Justin Gaethje, do you think the next thing for him should just be the undisputed title fight?
Yes.
Yeah, why not? Like,
because it's, like, I know they got shit going on with Ilya. I know Arman, but it's, like, Ilya said he's willing to do a number 1 contenders fight. You know what I mean? He said he's willing to kind of do something like that. Arman knows he's not getting it because of the fact that he pulled out.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Just give it to Gaethje, who didn't have to fight Max Holloway and didn't, you know what I mean? Like he did that to add another big fight to 300 BMF title on the line, you know?
Yeah.
He could have waited off of the Dustin win and he could have been the one fighting Islam that June instead of Dustin.
Yeah.
Where it's like, he's 36 years old. He's fun as fuck. Everybody loves him. He's ranked number 3. Dana White said he's not opposed to it either because he's number 3 in the world.
Yeah.
You got this win over Fiziev, who I don't care if he's number or whatever the fuck he is. Give it to him.
Going into it.
Sure. But, you know, give it to him.
I definitely agree.
I understand that. Ilya being willing to do a number 1 contenders fight. Gaethje versus Ilya is a fun fucking fight. I'm sorry. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but like,
do that.
God, that is so fun. Like,
I don't want that for him.
You get fucking Islam Ilya done for the summertime. Winner fights Gaethje for Gaethje fights the winner next. Or if like Islam ended up beating Ilya, you know what I mean? And then he because if Islam beats Ilya, he's bouncing out of the division for sure after that. So then you have Justin Gaethje right there to fight for the vacant title. So
Gaethje Arman.
Yeah, that.
There you go.
Yeah. So definitely.
That'd be the second time Gaethje's fighting for a vacant title. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Charles got fucking stripped.
Yep. But yeah, so definitely hope that Gaethje gets that opportunity. Like you said, especially if you're just doing the UFC 100%. The solid of the BMF title fight with Max, because he did not have to do that.
No, he did not.
Hell yeah. 155, absolutely on fire, especially on this card because the feature bout was Ignacio Bahamondes taking on Jalen Turner. He gets a first round triangle choke in for Ignacio, 2 minutes, 29 seconds into the first round over Jalen Turner.
He's a grappler now.
Yeah. It really was just so sad watching that because it just was just such basic things that Jalen just did not do right in that defense for the triangle, which just ended up getting it wrapped up, sunk in, ended up grabbing like the leg forward, gives the tap. Great win for Ignacio Bahamondes for sure.
Getting himself into the top 15 with this win.
Yep, because unranked for him. Jalen was ranked number 13 heading into this.
More people under the age of 30 in the 155 division. In every division.
No, for sure. But sad part about it though, Jalen afterwards talking to John Morgan, Aaron Bronstetter, just a few other, just talking about that he's probably just retiring after this one. Was contemplating it after UFC 300, been battling with it, just got a lot going on. And yes, at just 29 years old, man, I really hope that he decides not to. It's one of those things where he's always putting on fun fights. He's still a great fighter, can easily get better, and still like, and it just sucks because heading into this one, just telling you, you know what I mean, where it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if give it like 3-4 years, like Jalen Turner's one of those guys people never really thought too much of, but he just finds his grooves, moves it into like the top 5 and gets into a big spot, but loses this one and calls it a career for now.
It does suck because it's like 2 close fights with Gamrot and Hooker, knocks the shit out of Bobby Green, going into like the Moicano fight, and then Bahamondes. It's like 3 of those 4 losses are all guys that are within the rankings. Ignacio, the one odd man out, who was just a young up and coming guy, and it was just one of those mistakes, you know. Ignacio just like, bro, like, come to Chicago, come to my gym. You could stay at my house. Like, we can learn to love it together. Like, it's sad because like you said, he's young and he's good, and these losses aren't terrible. It's just a mental game that it's really hard for people to get over. And it's like, I think people have a hard time separating themselves as a person from their craft or their job or their sport or whatever it may be. So I just hope Jalen Turner can find whatever to be happy.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Because with like obviously wanting to see him fight, that's just purely selfish things, you know, and that's where it's like with all the fighters and everything, it's like I just whatever is best for you and your like life, career, whatever you want to do, like that is definitely just the most important. And just
like I just hope I just hope you find peace within your life. That's all.
Yeah,
no, 100%.
I know, and that's where it does just suck because, like you said, it's like Dan Hooker, literally ranked number 5 in the world right now, 1 fight away from being like able to fight for a title potentially. Fucking Gamrot, you know, another split decision, was the backup for a title fight not too long ago. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Moicano had him out of there, one like, you know, falter, ends up losing. Moicano's in the title fight. You know what I mean? It's like, it's even with this loss, it's like, man, 2-3 wins and you're right there for a big opportunity. But yeah, man, and for Ignacio Bahamondes, 27 years old, getting himself a ranking. Like you said, we need more young people in here.
Yes.
Does kind of suck that he will be just in with Jalen leaving, just another guy under 30 that's leaving for Ignacio, you know, so the number doesn't actually change. But so many fun fights potentially ahead for him in the rankings. Yeah. I don't know where the UFC is gonna want to go with him, but I mean, you know, fought Manuel Torres in the last one. That was on the Sphere, right? So yeah, just big opportunity there. Main card opportunity on this pay-per-view. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and give him like just a solid step up, big fight, big card.
But Neil.
I don't want that for Benny Bob. Oh my god, that's so bad.
Benny to Fiziev. Ignacio to Moicano.
That's a rough matchup for both of them. Someone's getting fucked up in that fight for sure, but it would be fun. But yeah, either way, a whole lot of fun matchups for Ignacio Bahamondes, and it's just one of those things where you got his build. It's gonna be interesting to just see how it plays out with these guys.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just funny because Tapology has them ranked at the same. I mean, 6'3", 75.5. I forgot that Jalen actually has a 77-inch reach.
Yeah,
I was like, how are we just replacing like the exact same build? You know?
yeah, absolutely wild. Definitely got their slight differences in, you know, their styles and everything like that. Both good strikers, but Ignacio a bit more of a dynamic, fun striker. You know?
Yeah, but they look exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Well, let's go. Yeah. See what happens with Ignacio getting himself $50,000 for that performance bonus in that one. This next fight, we had 2 fights fall off of this card, and either one of them should have been saved for this one. Yeah.
Probably Chris Curtis, but
yeah.
Oh my god, I did it again. Curtis Blades.
Chris Curtis. Oh my goodness. Absolutely crazy.
I thought I was over this. I don't know why.
I think the reason for that one was because you were thinking Chris Gutierrez as well, because that's the other fight that fell off.
Thank you.
Chris and Curtis fell off.
Yeah, Chris and Curtis.
Like, I thought I was past this. I know the difference.
There's just too many things to get you caught up in it. But Amanda Lemos taking on Yasmin Licindo. Yasmin I have on my draft. She takes the first L for me. That was very sad, but this fight was just abysmal, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that it could offer some fun.
Yeah.
Because not that it'd be the most exciting, but it's like Amanda Lemos, she can definitely finish people and she can definitely be finished.
Yeah.
And then Yasmin, it's like, yeah, she's like pretty exciting sometimes too, and she can also finish people, you know? This, like you said, abysmal.
Yeah. Zero significant strikes landed for Yasmin Lucindo throughout the first 2 rounds. No takedowns landed. 23 years old, so it's one of those things that it's like it really sucks because obviously she's so young, just getting pushed into this spot because there's just no one in the division, so they're just trying to go,
I mean, yeah, respectfully, she went from Brogan to Pollyanna to KK right into Marina.
Yeah.
And then got the split decision over Marina where she clearly struggled in some aspects, and then gave her Lemos, who would obviously be better than Marina, and just was able to take advantage of her inability in those aspects.
Exactly. And so it's just the thing that's really just going to suck the most for her is that, like, especially for the fan base, like, this is just going to hang on her for a while for sure. Like, she's really going to have to get some good things done and, like,
get some need to, like, reset the shit out of her, start her back at 15 and let her, like, knock the shit out of Luana Pinheiro or something. You know what I mean? Like,
and it's just one of those things. It's like she's 23. It's like, I know there's no one in the division that really, it's like, but yeah, do like a 15, then have her fight 13, then fight 10. Like, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, just she's so young. Her striking is just not there at all. And so, it just, and her grappling is just not even close to good enough for that to be your only skill set.
Because she's just not strong enough or physical enough.
Yeah. So, Lemos gets the UD, but absolutely terrible fight.
I mean, I understand, like, doing, like, what you guys are saying, that's probably the smarter plan. What they'll probably end up doing is probably just dropping her down to, like, number, like, somewhere around 10, 11, 12. So, I mean, realistically, I think the next fight might be a Tabitha Ricci fight. Which, I mean, is still a step back, and that's still better.
Yeah, she'll probably lose that, honestly, and so she'll get another step back. So, but yeah, even still, it's like you go on 2-fight losing streak at the, who cares? You know what I mean? It does not matter.
No, yeah.
But yeah, moving on though to it. I can't really say a better fight because it wasn't too much of a fight. Sick fucking knockout though.
Yeah. Sick knockout, bro.
Yeah. Mauricio Rufy, man, spinning fucking heel kick 207 of round 1 over Bobby Green. This or King Green, I should say. Sorry. Absolutely just disgusting. This was perfect. Picture perfect.
It really was. I fucking loved it.
It was.
I love when people like train a very specific shot because they see a clear pathway of no, I can land this, and it just works out for them. Because the kick to the left hook that kind of missed, and then just straight into the swing of the fucking heel kick, and as Bobby came out for the hook and in just to reset, and there's the kick.
Came in to reset, drops his hand. Almost like he was trying to, like, probably, like, he was thinking that spin might be coming to the body, so he's trying to probably get it. Comes right over the shoulder, right onto the temple, and goes unconscious.
Yeah, man, the way that he just slumped face first down like that
Mauricio just standing over him, staring.
Yeah, just vicious performance, vicious knockout, man. It just one of those things where it's like, first 2 fights in the UFC, just a whole lot of hype on him from a lot of people. Just his camp giving him all the hype in the world too, but just wasn't really too sure of how good he actually was.
Because it's hard to tell when you're only 2-0 in the UFC and you knock out Jamie Malarkey right away, which nice, and then go to a decision with the fat boy James Yontop, who's never been knocked out, and like I said, he catch weight of 165 and he still missed weight. So
to go out there and do that to Bobby Green as quick and decisive like that, vicious, man. Easily he should be getting himself a top 15 opponent next. I have no doubt about that.
Or someone who's
fighting
like,
nerves, man, they're gonna get pushed.
That are just right outside because there's like so many people right now fighting in the top 15.
We get Mauricio and BSD.
That's very possible.
BSD is fighting Joel Alvarez.
It's not confirmed.
Yeah.
Is it not?
No, the Tapology still doesn't have it. Just been looking like doesn't seem like it's that's confirmed.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, that would be a fucking ridiculous fight, man. I mean, Benoit has obviously that aggressive grappling to go out there and try and put it on him. You know what I mean? And he will strike with him and put on a war, but he is very open to those big shots. So that would be a very interesting fight for sure. But Motherfucking Roofy, man. He's probably going to do some good things in this division and get some real big wins.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely incredible. Easy knockout of the year contender. We'll see how that
100%.
holds up throughout the rest of the year. Still very early on, so
Still
lot
early
of
on, but like
we got a fucking Dustin Poirier retirement fight at some point this year. Someone's getting fucking slept, brother. You know what I mean? We'll fucking see how that goes down. But yeah, man. Pay-per-view main card, UFC 313. Pretty damn good. Whole lot of fun. Let's go. Moving on down to the prelims. Only 5 fights on the prelims. Had 2 fights pull out, like we mentioned earlier. Curtis Blades getting sick, pulling out against Rizvan Kuniev, and then Jean Matsumoto, or no, that was
John Castaneda.
Yeah, John Castaneda getting sick against Chris Gutierrez, pulling out. So that definitely just really sucked for sure to lose those heading into it. But
it still delivered though. The prelims were good.
Bangers.
The main card was good. It was like the one slub in fucking Amanda and Yasmin, but otherwise, this was a great card.
Yeah. Prelim headliner. We were so hyped up for this one coming in. We've been talking about the undefeated fighters losing their O throughout 2025. And we're not rooting for it, you know, but this one we really did have to.
Oh, yeah.
Because Ray Saruya at 10-0 was taking on our boy Joshua Van. God damn.
Joshua Van looked good as hell in there.
He did.
Yeah. This dude is going to be a monster.
So good.
Like it was really nice to see the takedown defense specifically because he is a boxing heavy flyweight. We love flyweights and the grappling sequences that they can get into, all of the things that it's like he's not someone that really engages in that as much. You know what I mean? So it's like he needs to have that takedown defense in order to keep his game up, which is just go out there and punch the shit out of them at the most ridiculous speed in UFC history. So it's like Ray Saruya went 4 for 21 on takedowns and over 3 rounds only got 3 minutes and 49 seconds of control time. Joshua Van was just doing a really good job at getting up if he was taken down, but just not letting him take him down. 2 for 6 in the first round, 1 for 9 in the second round, 1 of 6 in the third round. It's like he was on point in there.
His ability to grab underhooks lightning fast is just amazing. His hips are fucking always there, ready to sprawl, get back. Like, he really fucking cooks on that takedown defense. And like you said, just not getting held down long at all. I remember just like the one point where it was fucking, he got like the double underhooks on bottom, got like the body lock and he had the butterfly like hooks in. I'm just like, there's no reason that he should get held down here. Instantly fucking throws him off and gets up. And it was just like beautiful. Fucking perfect work,
because especially with the pressure, you know, it's like not only can you're defending the takedowns, but the consistent threat of it. It's not like you're going to get thrown off when somebody fails one takedown and goes right back to it. Like you're ready. And then still landed a total of 127 strikes of 169. Significant strikes didn't go up as much at 59 because, you know, talking about it like before his fight, you know the numbers. What are they?
So before this fight, heading into it, he landed 709 significant strikes across 6 UFC fights. And number 10 significant strikes landed in UFC history is Jessica Andrade at 1,730. So 6 UFC fights, 1,021 significant strikes behind, which, that's a high number. But when you've put in 706 fights, that's really not too crazy of a number.
Right, because you look at Jessica, who's number 10 in UFC history, and she has almost 30 fights? Over 30 fights?
Or probably like 28 or so,
Yeah, I just feel like anywhere from the 28 to 31 range.
I feel like just under 30, but just right about there, though.
And it's like,
28.
6 fights.
28,
okay.
17 wins, 11 losses.
He's going to be on that top 10 list in no time.
Easy work. No, there is just no doubt about it. He'll probably get damn close before he even gets booked for a 5-round fight.
Yeah,
honestly.
probably.
Like depending on how things go in just the division, how he moves up, but because it's just like he does have the 1 loss in the UFC, you know, getting knocked out by Charles Johnson. Like that definitely was like a little bit of a rough one, but 3 wins since then, 3 unanimous decisions, all within fucking 5 months, 6 or like 7 months or something. Like it just cooking to get back there.
Shit, even going to his knockout loss, we're not even like a year away from that.
Yeah, because he had 4 fights in 24. And he had the knockout loss in July, 2 wins after that, September, December, and now March 8th gets the win here. So yeah, he is definitely fast tracking his way into that into those record books for sure.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
But hell yeah, great performance from Joshua Van, though. I know he was real happy being able to walk out with the flag for the first time, so that was cool for him.
Yes, that was, yeah.
Let's go. Bruno the Hulk Fajeda taking on Armin Petrosian.
I can't believe he got a second round sub.
Yeah,
That was like the least likely outcome.
Yeah, because I bring it up where it's like, yeah, he's got some real solid judo throws and like can use that, you know what I mean? And I just really thought if anything, he might toss him and just ground and pound him or something, get him out of there real early. But just the explosiveness and all of the flaws all together for Bruno Fajeda clearly on display in this one, even though he got the second round win. Definitely good for him to pull it out, but goddamn, he just is not going to get much done in this division.
And he's going to forever stay a killer be killed guy because he is 5'10" with a 72-inch reach at 185, and it's not like he's fat by any means. He's incredibly built and just like physical. Which equals -20 cardio. Like, it's so crazy. The first sequence of explosive movements, and he's done. It's like a heavyweight. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Obviously, he can get some exciting shit going, but Jesus Christ, like it's something that needs to be worked on because it's like, getting subbed in the third round by Abus Magomedov because you have nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. To get out cardioed by a boost is wild. Like,
exactly.
But yeah, so just nice of him to get the win. But well, just fun fights. You know what I mean? That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
But because I did forget to mention that Joshua Van on my draft, so get that win, go 1-1 for the night. But Kate's draft pick for the night, Carlos Leal.
Boy, did the fucking thing. Bruh, it was so good. Like we mentioned, in a 3-round fight, went the full 15 minutes. Amanda Lemos landed 12 significant strikes, and Yasmin Lucindo landed 4.
Yep.
In 4 minutes and 16 seconds, Carlos Leal landed 79 significant strikes, and Alex Morono landed 40.
Yeah.
They immediately got at it. They immediately went to war, and then Leal just picked it up and said, I'm never going to the judges' scorecards again, and beat the shit out of Morono.
Yes.
Again, just another guy who was working the body so well, mixing it up, and just put on a stupid pressure. It was awesome.
I love how it is like the landed when in actuality, like if you just look at the significant strikes thrown by Lemos and Lucindo, 21 and 16. They didn't even come close to either.
No.
They attempted less combined across 15 minutes than Morono in a first round knockout loss landed.
Yes.
Insane. That is fucking wild to think about. But yeah, man, like you said earlier, the fucking body work on this card, because didn't really mention it too much with Joshua Van, but just consistent body work, looking great in that one. But Carlos, I think it was 28 to 29 significant strikes that he landed to the body. It was just put it on Morono in a way that as tough as he is, he just could not hang with that at all.
Yeah, because it was one of those things going in. Like, I know you had Leal for a late knockout, and I had him for a decision, because it's like, Carlos be getting the knockouts, and Morono has been knocked out 3 times prior, but so scattered across his record because he is a hard guy to get out of there.
Yeah,
he was knocked out once in 2014, and then once in 2020 by Chaos Williams, and then 22 by Ponzi, and those are the 3 knockouts. You know, it's like, but Leal was like, nope. After that bullshit ass loss to Renat, I'm never going to decision again.
Yeah, so good for him. Get that win in the UFC that he rightfully deserves. Should be 2-0. He's talking out like it's 2-0. He knows what's up. But definitely just a great mix to the welterweight division.
Yeah, 100%.
Then the next 2 fights on the prelims, definitely the decision scorecards kind of all over the place and out. You know what I mean? Just how people feel about them, whatever. Myron Santos gets the split decision win over Francis Marshall. People and just a lot of fighters especially were just very upset with this decision.
But it doesn't help that commentary was immediately like, he didn't win. He should have lost that. That was terrible. And I don't understand how.
Neither do I.
like it doesn't make sense. Myron was winning the first round up until Francis then got the really big moment at the end, and he clearly stole that because it was the biggest moment and it was kind of close either way, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Francis definitely won round 1. But then round 2, Santos just came out there and was just striking with him. He was putting a jab on him. He was touching him up. He was like landing damaging shots. Marshall went 2 for 2 on takedowns, had 1 minute and 22 seconds of control time in the second round. It's not even a quarter of the fucking round. And he landed 0 of 0 strikes in the clinch and on the ground, which means he took him down, held him down, and did nothing, and then got outstruck on the feet. How the fuck is that a win in that round?
That's
and then the same with round 3. Same with round 3. Santos outstrikes him, doubles the strikes in total strikes. Marshall gets 1 takedown on him. 38 seconds of control time. That is it. Lands 0 of 0 punches on the ground or in the clinch. How did he win with the takedown?
Yeah.
And because it's like, just, landed by position, literally 100% for Francis Marshall at distance. 98 at distance for fucking, for goddamn Myron Santos, just blank real quick. But the 1% in the clinch that they show, but it's like, he wasn't doing much there either. But that wasn't where he was trying to work. But
that's why I was saying, like, in the clinch into the takedown, it's like he did nothing in those in the whole grappling sequence from in the clinch to into the takedown. He did nothing.
No,
he didn't win.
Exactly. And then just Myron just touching him all over, 50% to the head, 24 to the body, 25 to the leg, like just very diverse striking and where he was landing it. It's like that was such an easy 29-28 Myron Santos, in my opinion. I really didn't understand what was going on.
I was about to say, it's the usual suspect for the 30-27, Derek, clearly.
Ooh.
Like when I heard that for fucking Francis Marshall, I was like, what?
How? How?
Where?
But so that one was kind of crazy. And then Ozzy Diaz and Jordan Santos, they went to absolute war in that prelim opener, just landed and attempting crazy amounts of strikes. And then just another one where I did think that it was a clear first 2 rounds for Santos. And when they said 29-28 UD, that, I was like, okay, cool. And then they said Ozzy Diaz, and I was like, oh, well, I guess I was wrong on that one. But either way, just a super fun fight, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think, like, the first round,
and banging.
First round, I definitely had Santos. Second round, I was like, okay, that's close. Then third round, I did have Ozzy winning.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not too mad at that one.
Yeah.
But it is like, oh, damn.
But that's also why I didn't understand why so many people cared. It's like, these were prelim openers. Myron Santos, he's back after making his debut because winning the tough finale. You have Francis Marshall, who's had a couple fights, but it's not like he's some major prospect coming up. He was 2-2 headed into this fight.
Yeah.
I don't know why people were going so hard about this one, too. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. Yeah. Who knows? But overall, real good fun card. 10 fights overall, but just very solid for UFC 313.
Definitely a fun event.
Yep. Last couple mentions for this card and everything. They did announce on the broadcast that we got a new Hall of Fame inductee.
Yes.
And man, that package for Robbie Lawler, absolutely incredible. Just having him there in attendance, showing his reaction to everything. And when he almost started crying, I was about to start crying. God damn, that is
just seeing him as just young Robbie.
Yep.
Real young Robbie. Damn near unrecognizable until you really look at his face and it's like, holy shit, that is him. Like, yeah,
man. Easily, everyone knew he was going to be a Hall of Famer. There's no surprise in that, but just always nice for him to get that moment, get that respect and everything. And just such a deserving fighter, just ruthless for sure. True to his name. Absolutely incredible, man.
Yeah.
But that was very nice. Other than that, Tapology results for this card, absolutely terrible week in Tapology. I came in third, first time of the year. Very sad business over these parts.
I won.
Boo.
Obviously means I came in second, but Yeah,
is this your first second place, Ginger?
Yes.
Very nice.
I've been either first or third.
So we got a nice little mix up in this one, other than Kate. She didn't need
I was about to say, if Fiziev had won, I think it would have been better because I would have been 4-4. I would have literally only been 50-50. I'm either winning or I'm losing.
Yeah. But yeah, so it definitely was not a great week in Tapology for me. Got 4 fights wrong on the main card. Got 5 fights out of the 10 right overall. 50%, not too great.
50%, yeah.
I got 8 out of 10. I did good.
Fucking cooked.
I was about to say, I think I got 6.
Yeah, I just got Yasmin and Poetan wrong.
Yeah. Let's go. And
Yeah, I
then
got 6.
And with the draft mentioned it, I went 1-1. Kate went 1-0. Overall for the draft, that has now tied me and Kate's overall record to 6-1. Absolutely terrible. I can't believe this happened so fast already. It's only the second fight week of March. What the hell, is terrible. But you
Terrible.
tied me. I guess hopefully I could just get ahead real quick,
Yeah, when where Ginger's 4-3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's bring that to 4-8.
No.
Yes.
8-3.
No. Oh my goodness, that's not happening.
No dog.
But let's go.
Fine, I'll settle 7-4.
That is it for this episode of the podcast. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. And we will catch you previewing next week's event. Oh my goodness. Marvin Vettori, Roman Dolidze fight night. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Peace out, everyone.